Welcome back for the Maverick Life Holiday Edition, Day 2. Today we have relationships, which is always a fabulous topic around holiday time. So in general, we tootle through our lives and we try to be near the people that we love being around and try to stay away from the people that we don't like. That's just the kind of way that it works. Holiday season kind of turns that upside down. When family obligations and holiday parties and seeing friends that you may not get to see all the time or want to see ever comes up, it's much harder around this time of year to have your boundaries in place and decide what you want for you and what you want to stay away from. So how do we cope with this? What's the reality of relationships at this time of year? So yesterday we talked all about getting yourself solid so that you have the ability to take a look at everything coming at you during the holidays and in all areas with a different filter, with a self-empowered filter of what do you want, what do you not want, and find maneuvering ways within that to be as empowered and strong in yourself as you can be given the outside surroundings of the season. So how do you fortify yourself against, again, family obligations and the people that maybe judge you all year long, or issues with your partner, or buying presents and that whole idea of money and spending and how it makes you feel? What I want you to do is decide, like we did yesterday, what you want to feel at the end of the holidays. Decide who you'd like to spend the most time with. So take a piece of paper, and if you had your way, I want you on the left side of the paper to write out what does your ideal holiday look like? Who would it be surrounded by? Who would you like to spend the most time with? Who's got you the most excited to be with? Why? Why does it feel important to you to connect with those people? What would you like to give of yourself, and what would you like to receive? So really get into the feelings of what being connected to the people that you love gives you. So if it means gifting things to people that you love, why? What does it make you feel like? It makes you feel proud that you can share with them. It makes you feel good that you could shower them with what you feel is their love, to show them how much thought you put into things. On the right side of the paper, I want you to, even if it's not realistic, write out all the people you don't want to spend time with, all the feelings that you don't want to have, all of the reasons why. Because what you're doing is honoring what you're feeling. It doesn't mean we can always change it in the moment, but if you're always trying to shove stuff in and decide it's fine, I'll just make the best of it, you're not really honoring what it feels like, and that's when you get that misalignment inside of, well, I should be happy, but I'm not. Because you're not listening to what your body and your heart are telling you. You're just pushing through so that you get through what you're supposed to feel like. That doesn't help you be able to actually be present in the good parts and be able to cope with the more negative parts. So once you give assignment to your realistic feelings, the positive and the negative ones, what I want you to then do is take a fresh piece of paper and see where in those have to and shoulds are things you actually have control of. So if, let's say, you have to go to a holiday party and you don't want to, what can you do the morning of the party that fuels you? Who can you spend time with? What can you do in terms of self-care? What can you do that makes you feel strong and empowered before you have to go put yourself in that situation where you feel less than in all of those ways? And then in the same way, after the party, what can you do that night? What can you do the next day? What you're wanting to do is buffer the time where you're negative so it doesn't leak out before or leak out after. Just contain it so you can kind of surrender to the reality and say, I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to practice radical self-care before and after. I'm going to connect with the people that I want to before and after, and I'm just going to forgive and let go in the time that I have to do stuff that I don't want to do. Look, we're adults. We don't get to always choose what we want to do. You know, little kids throw a fit because they're not being heard. Grown-ups shove it all inside when they're not being heard. So rather than judging what you're going to feel or not feel, decide that when you feel that, that's yours to own. So if you're sitting around family that you quote-unquote should appreciate, but you're not feeling the appreciation, be okay with it. See in the moment if you can appreciate one thing. If there's one aspect of the fact that everyone's healthy and there, even if you don't like them so much. You could even be grateful they only see them one time a year and it's a few hours and then it's over. It may sound a little negative, but I'm not this happy clappy life coach. That's just realistic. So be grateful and appreciative of the fact that you can do this. You can give them the time and energy that you have, and then it's done. And you get to be you the rest of the time if you feel like you can't fully be you there. Now, the flip side of this is actually giving people the chance to see who you really are that they may not know. Many times, especially with family, because it's old, stuck stuff, we don't actually give people the benefit of the doubt that maybe they'd be happy for our growth. Maybe they'd be excited to hear about our job, that may be something different than they'd ever heard of. So rather than being defensive about it, find ways to communicate with them, to see, maybe not to make yourself completely vulnerable and, be all proud of yourself if it's not an environment you feel that, but maybe if you can give them a little insight into what you've been up to without hiding it, without feeling shameful. What you gain from that is your own self-confidence, regardless of how they take it. And lots of times you'll be pleasantly surprised that people want to come along on the journey with you. They'll may be happier for you than you would have thought. They may be less judgmental. If they're not, then they're who you thought they were. But if they are, you may have the opportunity to open up the relationship in a different way than it's been all these years. Stop thinking that the same old patterns have to repeat themselves, because of the benefit of doing our own work is that the people around us start to see us a little differently, and some of them can change with us. Not all of them, but some of them. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your take on relationships and family time and holidays and gift giving. And I will be doing, just like I will every day this week, a live Q&A in my free Facebook group. The link is below if you'd like to join. We did a 45-minute Q&A, which was really good yesterday, about self. Today will be the same kind of idea, bringing all of your questions about relationships and the holiday season, and any way that I can help you make this the best holiday that you've had in a long time. So until then, I will see you later at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. UK time, inside my group, the Maverick Rising Party. And if not, I will see you guys here tomorrow for our business and holidays. Take care. Have a great day.